Alright guys, so I'll be showing you how I'm going to be taking this particular trade. This dot I've not posted in the group, which I will post later, but I want to show you how to take this trade so you understand my thought process. Now the first thing you need to understand is that you can see this is entry 1, this is entry 2. Now there are processes in taking entry 1 and entry 2. If you want to take the two entries, there is a process you need to follow. If you want to take only one entry, let's assume you want to take this entry, this particular entry, your stop loss is supposed to be here. Okay, not here, here. So it will be like this. That's if you want to take just one entry. Now if you want to take the two entry, this place that your stop loss ended here, you calculate your 1 to 1, then you extend your stop loss to this place. I'm going to do both so you can understand what I'm doing. So let's start with the first one. Let's assume I want to take two entries on this particular trade. So the first thing I need to do is I already put $5 into my stop, so you can see how I will do it. So first thing first, two entries. Remember, I want to take two entries. So first thing first, I'll do this. These are the details. This is my entry price here, right? This is my TP here, right? Then this one is my stop loss. Now that I have that, I've not copied it, but now that I have that, what do? I go to my Binance. There are two ways you can search. You can make you can calculate your your leverage. Okay, you can say I have $5 here. You can calculate your leverage, but the one I use that is faster for me is what I will be showing you here. So now the first thing is look at the coin we are going to be buying. This is dot, right? Come here, change this to dot. Now that we have dot, we don't know the leverage we have to use, right? So take note, this is the highest leverage, 75x. I put it there. All right, so I will go back to my dot entry, double click on this, then the entry price is 2093, which I've copied. Then my stop loss is 2.058. Remember, I'm taking two entries. The stop loss for this entry one is 2.058. Take note. So what do? I come here, post my entry there, right? Then my stop loss is 2.058. I hope you can see what I'm doing, right? Leave the take profit. Let's focus on this one. Now what I want to do is that, let's assume I want to risk let's say I want to risk $3. Okay, $3 for this trade, $3. So because I'm taking two entries, I'm going to divide my entry into three. I'm taking two entries, so I'm dividing into three parts. So instead of using $3 at once, I'm going to use $1, $1. I will explain the reason why I'm using $1, $1 later. All right, so I'm going to drag this to this place, and this shows 99 cents, which is close to $1. So in case it does not get up to $1, you can just put 0.2. You see, it's now $1. You can see it here now, it's now $1. So what do? I will take my cursor and put here and tap this and change it to 8. It will show me I'm going to be, my buy profit is $1.26. $1.26, right? Now this is not what I want, because I'm risking $1, right? For this trade, I'm going to be risking $1. So it's too much. So what do? I go back to my here, then change this say to 56%. It's tedious, I know, but for me it's faster than going to go and do calculation. I will explain how you can do calculation later too. Okay, so put 0.2 if you want $1 exactly. All right, change this to 8. Now this is 94 cents. Now it simply means that if I go to like 60%, 60x, then go back and change it to 8, then this one to 20.28. Now exactly $1, right? It has not finished. I'm taking two entries, exactly $1. Now that I've calculated 1 to 1, what else do I need? I need to go back so that I will extend my stop loss to the second stop loss. Because why? I am taking entry, I'm taking the entire two entries, right? So something like this. Now I've calculated for this stop loss. It has given me that I'll be use 60 something X. So now this is the final entry, stop loss I'm going to take copy, then go back here and paste it here. Now you can see I'm going to lose $1.95 in this trade. Let's say 5. I'm going to lose exactly $1.99 in this trade if you go wrong. Then I can now come and take my profit level. My profit is 2.299, right? So paste it here. Then if it goes my way, what do? I'm going to make $6. So I'm risking $2 to get $6 in this trade. This is trade 1. So I click on open long. So we have set the first one. Now I'm not going to tamper with my leverage anymore, because it's the same leverage I'm going to be using. Now if you now decide you want to take the second trade, maybe like you remember I want to take 2 trades, I divided my capital into 3. The reason why I divided into 3 is this is stop loss 1, this is stop loss 1, this is stop loss 2, because I'm using overall stop loss. Then this third one is stop loss 3, stop loss 1, right? Stop loss 2, stop loss 3. So that's why I divide my capital into 3 parts. So this one is 1 to 1 stop loss, this one is 1 to 2 stop loss, while the third one is this 1 to 1 stop loss. So I'm going to double click on this so as to set my second entry. Then my stop loss is 2.025. You know, overall stop loss 2.025. So put this here, 2.025 as your overall stop loss. Then you drag this until you get $1 again. So let me see, this should be 25.8. 25.2. okay, this should give me, right? Now how much am I losing? I'm losing 98 cents, right? Which is still okay. Then what is my take profit? Because I've said this, so I can easily look at it from here. My take profit is going to be 2.299. 2.299. Now click on open long. Now you can see that I'm having $2.97, let's say $3. Why am I having $3? Is because I'm setting 2 entries. My first entry is $1. If you hit stop loss, I lose $2. My second entry is $1. If you hit stop loss, I lose $1. But if my first entry get to TP, I make $6. My second entry get to TP, I make $6. Okay, that is for entry. That's for the 2 entries, right? Now let's now assume I want to take only one single entry. Let's assume that I don't want to do 2 entries, I just want to take 1 entry. So what do I do? Now I usually send something like this to you guys, like this. I just want to take 1 entry, just 1. I'm not taking 2. You will be the sole decider of this thing, this particular one. Your entry may be from here, from this particular one here, or you can decide, okay, let me take my entry here. You may miss this one, whichever way. But if you decide you want to take it here, then you divide your capital into 2 parts, not 1 anymore. Here I want to use, let's say I want to use $3, just like the way I used. But this time around, my entry here is going to be $1.50. Then I'm going to be using the second stop loss, $1.50. I'm using the second stop loss. So for example, now my entry here is going to be 2.093. See, then my stop loss will be the second, this particular one, the second stop loss. So I double click on this. My stop loss is 2.025. You can see. So when I come to my trade, remember I'm using $3, but I'm going to divide my capital into 2 because I'm taking only 1 entry. So paste this here. My stop loss is 2.025, right? So I'm dragging this to $1.50. $1.50. $1.50. Let's say 51, 51.9, and 51.2, 51. Okay, 51 should give me this. Alright, so I'll take this. Now see my loss. In case anything happen, I'm going to lose $2.95, which is close to $3. Do you understand? Because I'm taking only one entry, so it will be $1.50 for my entry. If I'm taking two entry, I'm going to divide my capital into three parts. If I'm taking one entry, I'm going to divide my capital into one part. All right, so that is that. Now when this trade trigger, before I usually give you take profit one, take profit two, but I started doing, when it trigger, I'm now going to be setting you take profit one, take profit two. So let's assume this is, when I calculate something like that, I will say, okay, this is my TP1. 1 to 1 is here. Good. So this is my TP1, which is here, right? TP1 1 to 1. TP2, then 1 to 2. If any money you are going to lose is going to pain you, please take note. This market is 50, it's not 50-50 per se, but then because we did analysis, so it should have a higher percentage, but it's 50-50. 50-50 in the sense that anything can happen. BTC is the one that drives this market, right? So if you know, if you touch stop loss is going to affect your fund, do not use more than necessary. Always make sure you have at least, for example, now I'm using $3. Always make sure I will have at least times 10 of whatever I'm using to trade. Do this thing small so that you can get, by the time you can accumulate it, it will be bigger. Don't just jump into one trade with everything you have. Before you know, you if just one stop loss will lose the entire thing. All right. And also what I do is I usually use the same, or like constant risk. Constant. If I'm using $3, it should be $3 throughout that month, or throughout 2 weeks, or throughout that week. Then next week I can now increase my capital that I'm going to be entering per trade. All right, so this is 1 to 1, 1 to 1 here, 1 to 2 here. Am I correct? 1 to 1, 1 to 2. All right, good. Now if I send you something like this, I say this is TP1. I'm going to be putting the price so that you will not make any mistake. This TP1, TP2, right, TP2 here. All right, you can see. Now take note, the moment you get to TP1, if you are the kind of person who wants to be guiding your losses, your profit, so that you will not lose it, then you take your stop loss here. Simply come back to, it has not triggered. Let's assume it has triggered. Let's assume that this our trade has triggered. What do? It's going to be here. You see TP and stop loss. Simply go there and change your stop loss to your entry price. For example, now in this case, if the trade trigger and reach TP1 and you decide, okay, let me just take this my profit so that you will not get lost, you can now set it to break even. Break even means that you are setting your stop loss back to entry. So this your stop loss, you just change it to something like this. In place of your entry, which is 2.093 now, you are going to be putting your stop loss there. Then you take your stop loss and put here. So what does it mean? It simply means that you are now running this trade risk free. Anything that happens does not bother you. Why? Because you already get 1 to 1. Do you understand? These things are not difficult. You already get your TP1. Then when you get TP2, you do the same thing. When you get TP3, you do the same thing. It's very, very easy. It's what? Very, very easy. Okay guys, it's very, very easy. All you just need to do is understand what we are doing here. Now maximum stop loss for me is 1 to 3. But if you want to take all the stop loss, then be risky. Be anytime you get to TP2, change your stop loss from your entry to TP1. Once you get to TP3, change your stop loss from entry to TP2. When you get to TP4, take your entry from TP2 to TP3. Very easy. So if you are having any challenge about this, let me know. If you want to take the 2 entry, divide your capital into 3. If you are using $3, divide into $1, $1, $1. Use $1 to enter the first trade. Then you set your stop loss to 1 to 2. Then use the other $1 to enter somewhere else. Okay? For example, now the other way I would do this is I could just take my entry here, this particular one here, just go into my what do you call it? Just go into my Binance or whatever you are using. Then instead of using 100%, you are going to be using 200%. For example, now you want to use $1 and you know you are taking 1 to 2. Your stop loss will be $1 to $2, right? So, but if you follow the step I showed you, you should understand how we do these things. It's not difficult. Okay, it's not difficult. So, this should be an example, but I hope when we meet again, I'll be able to explain it better for you guys. So if you have any issue, don't hide it. Just talk to me. There is no point where all of us are hitting TP and you are hitting stop loss. One take profit is supposed to cover 3 of your losses. One take profit, you should cover more than 3 of your losses. Alright? So any issue, let me know.